fantastic. But here on the world stage, 3-2, still with a positive record, but not having exactly the best time over here, not able to run the clean sweep like they have domestically. But the Bangkok Titans have banned away LeBlanc, Oriana, and Morgana here. So a lot of power picks still available for the Chiefs. They're going to take away Zed, Hecarim, and Gragas. And Warlock now with the opportunity of the first pick. We'll see what he takes away here. Maokai still available, one of Swiper's personal favorites.
Udyr is still available.
Nunu is still available.
All of the bans we used to see against the Bangkok Titans have been thrown out the window, and maybe this will unlock 007X.
Well, I guess if you're not going to ban away both of his champions, you may as well leave them both up.
Yeah, because you can't pick them both.
Exactly.
Unless you think one is stronger than the other, in which case scenario sucks.
Unless you're the red side and you can pick both of them.
Yeah, let's not touch that one.
I'm not sure what would be better. Udyr top lane, Nunu jungle, or Nunu support, Udyr jungle.
I think they're both pretty bad situations, as Nautilus is actually picked up first for Warlock.
I like that pick
going
away.
into the bottom lane for Moss. And we'll see Swiper hover a Tryndamere once again. His favorite champion is very well known for the split push Tryndamere coming through there. They run it with a TF, so would be surprised to see a blind pick, but if you see a TF hop up, might be the strategy that they're going for.
Yeah, the 1-3-1 extraordinaire.
Yeah, well, they actually use it a little bit differently. They use it to get the Tryndamere ahead, because the idea behind the composition is you just get the Tryndamere that obnoxiously farmed that no one can go with him. So they use the TF not to split push with him, but to repetitively gank the top lane.
Yep.
And then just catapult Swiper into an advantage.
Well, we've certainly seen when Swiffer does manage to pick up that TF, he does spend a heck of a lot of time there on the top side of the map, making the enemy top laner very uncomfortable. This time around, though, the Chiefs looking to pick up some comfort picks. Maokai there yet again for Swiper, and Raydir going to be on the Lucian. Very comfortable picks here for the Chiefs, and we'll see what the Bangkok Titans are going to pick up. G4 hovering the Cho'Gath yet again.
And very ambiguous picks coming through for the Chiefs. They haven't given anything away from their team comp. Both go into 2v2 and 1v1 lanes well, but they also are okay in the lane swap. So keeping it nice and open, they're securing a power pick for Raydir as well. We saw his Lucian last game, probably feeling very confident.
Lloyd was also very strong on that champion.
But it does mean that Lloyd can take Graves. One of the earliest counter picks to the Lucian was being able to take the Graves into the lane and bully him around early.
Yeah, 007X thinking about the Gnar here. Of course, no jungle is being considered whatsoever for either team so far, unless Maokai is going to be heading in there. We have seen that in other regions recently, but probably not going to be happening, as Swiper very, very happy to take that one. And Lulu is going to be another potential option. Kalista picked up for Lloyd. We saw him go absolutely off on that champion.
Yeah, he certainly did. Able to really take it to KLG in the first game of the day on that champion. So see whether he can do something similar. The Lulu pick is an interesting one. Doesn't win lane for G4. Will probably neutralize it. Don't know if it's going to be Warlock or Moss that picks it up as well. Is kind of that three-way flex pick that comes through. But I would be very surprised if it was in the mid lane, because Swiffer, with how dominant he's been, he seems to be the key to the Chiefs' success. Lulu doesn't really add that much gank potential, and that is not going to be a pick because he doesn't play Ziggs ever. Ziggs, Yasuo, the two champions he doesn't play.
That being said, Rosie does play Ziggs.
Please never mention that series.
What? It's happened.
It did, and he won.
He did. So, look. Serious pick. 7 seconds to go. Swiffer still hovering over the Ziggs. Raydir yet to make up his mind. It is going to be the Nunu pickup here for Spooks, and Rosie is going to lock away the Nami here. And this lane, as far as a 2v2 is concerned, is terrifying.
Yeah, it's certainly a very good lane. Also has a knock-up. You have a steroid to get Raydir going in the late game. Turns Lucian into that hyper carry from Nunu. Also some very good zone control and peel. Does lack a little bit on damage, so they're waiting for the counter pick on Swiffer, but it needs to be a high threat, consistent damage mid laner, but also has to bring some CC, so we'll see what they can get going.
High threat, consistent damage, CC, Swiffer. Pretty sure an Ahri could be an opportunity here.
Ahri can be an opportunity. Although it looks like it's going to be picked away, actually, by G4. So we'll have to see what the choice is from there. Zed has also been banned. by the Chiefs, so that's another one of Chief Swiffer's laners that he likes to take into the Ahri matchup. From what we've seen him play, Vladimir probably an option that can come through, although doesn't have the CC component. And Nivea is the other one, although does very poorly in lane.
But should they ever opt into that Vladimir-Nunu combination, they'll never be able to gank J4.
Yeah, exactly right. It's
G4. Oh, God.
Yeah,
why did he play Jarvan?
Not a great lane matchup coming through there. We'll have to see exactly how it works out. Rosie's favorite champion, Zyra, being hovered here. Twisted Fate is probably the option that I'm going for right now that they will pick just to try and get some pressure in other areas of the map. I feel that if they win Spooks' Radia's lane matchup hard enough with Lucian, they should be able to snowball the game. On the side of Bangkok Titans, they lack damage.
Yeah, they do. They're going all around that 2-threat comp.
They have a top lane Lulu and an Ahri. Lulu not going to really provide that much damage. It will be a lot of utility, and it's a Kassadin being locked in.
Oh my goodness, Swiffer going back to the Kassadin. This guy was notably one of the best Kassadins in the region. Had one of his most famous games trying to solo carry on that Kassadin against what was Team Immunity that turned into the Chiefs before he was even on the team. Almost managed to clinch a victory against the team that was far and away the best in the region. And man, back on the champion again. We'll see how he goes. Of course, this was before all of the reworks that have gone through, but Swiffer, we'll see whether he can make it happen. And as far as the lane matchup is concerned against Ahri, how does this one work out?
Yeah, Kassadin actually does relatively well against Ahri early on in the lane. Able to just go the flash, continue to cure out of lane. CS is under turret, fine. Ahri isn't one of the champions that really does give Kassadin a headache. It's the lack of Azir, Orianna, these guys that early on in the lane really do bully him around. So it should be relatively okay. In saying that, if he ever gets ganked and blows that flash early, 007 can just repeat gank. No gap closer until level 6. Even then, it's very short. Udyr is actually really good against New Kassadin because the Rift Hop doesn't get you out of range of the bear stance. It's just absolutely freaky how quickly bear stance Udyr can run. And we've seen 007X's Udyr is fantastic.
Yeah, 007X's Udyr is terrifying to deal with. He becomes so incredibly tanky in the later stages of the game as well. And we look at this comp, they've got a top lane Lulu who is going to be an absolute
menace. The facilitator for it. Able to speed him up and get him into the back line, then make him the one huge super tank. Also has the Nautilus to lock down key targets. You see exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Udyr run into the team, absorb a lot of the damage, then pick off the guys around the edges. Yeah, and also force the Chiefs to use their cooldowns trying to get rid of the Udyr, and then Lloyd just runs over the team fight on the Kalista, and we'll see whether it happens. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be very soon onto the Rift with the Bangkok Titans taking on the Chiefs. The Chiefs, one of their last opportunities based on how this tournament is going to end up with our final game to get into the playoffs. The Bangkok Titans now playing with nothing to lose, you have to think. 4-1, they're already guaranteed a spot. Yeah, they're guaranteed a spot just playing for seeding. Chiefs, if they lose, they rely on Besiktas to also lose. So we'll see exactly how it works out as we just have a little bit of a showdown in the mid lane. Yep, Radiant probably going to win that one as far as a standoff is concerned, considering the fact that he has both of the guns. Not too bad. 007X hanging around here in the brush, and I'm not going to talk about what his Phoenix stance looks like this time. Got a lot of feedback, and I believe it was Duck, and I said something about a beak, and Duck doesn't have one of them. No,
he's got a bill. Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Producer is saying that he thought I wasn't going to talk about it. But look, I did. Come at me. Lloyd, standing in the tri-brush here, just spotting out what's going on. No deep ward's going to come through for either team just yet, as the Chiefs actually sending their bottom lane very deep already. Yeah, so they're going to look to maybe effect a freeze. Kalista might look to pick up a camp for herself, try and get that early CS advantage. Does it very well if she takes W. Of course, that percentage health coming through there when Moss also auto-attacks the same thing. But Rosie might look to stop this by himself. No, just gets a ward. Yeah, and G4 going to be all the way. He's going for the solo mission in the bottom lane. Rosie, don't get caught. Looking to annoy these guys. Lloyd able to get a bit of damage down, but Moss, you can see, who was tanking up this Krug, is
He's
down to 300
like 4
health.
extra shots for it. That's really nicely done by Rosie. Going to try and zone the lane even further. Radiant able to push out nice and early as Swiffer takes the return damage out of that one. Going to have to burn some extra consumables. G4 pushing in early. That really is your only option against something like a Kassadin, to just repetitively shove him in, try and auto-attack him under turret.
Yeah, and Swiper doing the best that he can to handle the range coming through from this Lulu. 007X.
In a duck stance, I believe that one's called, Atlas.
Oh, is it the duck stance? Oh, wow, that sounds a little bit interesting. It looks a little bit more like a parrot to me, Spawn. Swiffer able to clear out these minions here in the mid lane. G4 takes another Null Sphere.
And wow, the Chiefs able to get ahead early in the lane just through the fact that they were able to disrupt the Krug taking. That really is Kallista's PowerPoint in the 2v2, getting the level 2 first and being able to utilize it. Now Lucian completely bullying.
Yeah, and that was some Uzi-esque piercing light as well over both of the members of the lane. Beautiful stuff. 007X looking to head towards this top side of the map. He's just going to take down the Rift Scuttler there as the adorable little turtle. Franklin hanging around that river. He's going to turtle stance up some of that damage to come down from Spooks as well, who's just hopping around on this Yeti.
Yeah, so you see Moss trying to absorb as much of the damage as possible early game. He has the additional potions as well as the shield to come through. Has hit level 3. They're going aggressive.
Oh, Dredgeline not going to find it, though, as the Titan's Wrath going to get auto-attacked down here by Radier, who gets a whole lot of farm here on his way through to being aggressive. Picks up these caster minions, but the Bangkok Titans unable to get done what they wanted to in this lane. You have to think on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, but still going to scale up nicely. There's not really much kill threat coming through from the Chiefs, so they miss maybe an early kill potential. It was equalized, but in the end, not much really going to come through in benefit of the Chiefs.
Yep, Force Pulse is going to help get a little bit of damage down here as the Ignite very early. G4 blows the flash, the charms there as well. The flash from Swiffer, first blood for the Kassadin, and things going beautifully for the Chiefs early on.
Yeah, so able to get in there. They pick up the first blood. A good gank coming through from the Nunu as another hook misses, and Lloyd bounces forwards.
Yeah, look at that Tidecaller's Blessing doing so much work. 300 health now on the Callista as the... Yeah, like you mentioned, the Tidecaller's Blessing, so much extra damage.
All of a sudden, 007X behind Swiffer here in the mid lane. He needs to be careful.
Does he?
Yeah, he does, because he doesn't have flash. He used it to go forward. Udyr really strong at this part of the game.
Yeah, but it was just the level 3 Udyr. Goodness me. Maybe it's because he looks so adorable that I'm sort of not worried about it.
Yeah, never underestimate Udyr.
No, well, if he's in any skin that is going to help you underestimate him, it is certainly that one. Some mind games coming through from 007X. Swiper going to continue clearing out this top wave. The sustain of Maokai very helpful as he has a 4 CS advantage in this bully lane. Spook's going to get charmed up.
They're just trying to shove the wave out and try and get him a free back in here. Not going to be able to do it if they stick around. Wow.
Yeah, Radier actually getting some damage down. Very low on mana, though. The Ignite down on Moss as Lloyd trying to get some extra shots in. Rend not being used. Hasn't pulled the spears just yet. And they were unable to finish the kill onto Moss.
Yeah, but in the mid lane, they were able to shove out with Nunu as well as the Ahri. Now Udyr coming down, trying to pick up another Rift Scuttler for himself. So that's 2-0 count. Udyr going off on the Rift Scuttle.
Yeah, massive Rift Scuttling. Going down for Bangkok Titans. That is definitely in their favor.
And wow, a Sheen has been picked up early out of Swiffer, as maybe a gank coming through from 007X. Ooh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, very early Relentless Pursuit as Radiant is going to have to use the heal and the flash. Spook's coming down, but he's not going to save his AD carry. They're trying to get what they can, but Rosie's burning down. Is able to survive here as Spook's trying to get out as well. But the Bangkok Titans pick up their own kill here on the map.
Yeah, they're going to maybe be able to grab the Dragon as well. Nort could tank that one up, decides not to because their mid laner was back, but that was a misplay by Rosie. In the end, he missed the bubble completely. There was 2 targets standing on top of each other, and he didn't hit either.
Well, also the Relentless Pursuit into the Callista was probably a little bit unfortunate as well.
Yeah, but there's no vision there. You can understand what he's trying to do. He sent someone back. At the best, it's a 2v2 with the jungler there, and they thought that Spooks was closely enough, but in the end, you just can't afford to miss point-blank skill shots, unfortunately.
Damn it. I'm never going to be good at this game. G4, though, might be in a bit of trouble
needs to be
here.
Careful that he doesn't rift walk forward. There is a Nautilus waiting in the wings.
Doesn't quite have that depth charge just yet. Of course, Moss only level 4, so can't use the guaranteed CC. And a Kassadin pretty difficult to lock up. Of course, Riftwalk, yeah, you need to get it on cooldown, but now doesn't have much of one of those.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't, but with that rotation up into the mid lane, Moss has been able to, wow, going aggressive as Swiffer. Might have been caught out. Everyone collapsing, actually.
Yeah, it is a 3v3 here around the river, but they are just going to trade a few blows and then head back towards their respective lanes. G4 able to shove this one out very effectively as Swiffer utilizing this Sheen to try and pick up some farm. Moss making his way back down.
Look how tanky the Nautilus is.
Flash dredge line here as well as Radier getting exhausted. Rosie trying to heal himself up. The teleport to come through, but Moss has already locked down the kill. Lloyd stacking up the Rens. Radier picks up the kill, though. Spooks actually is the one that locks that one down. No vision for Moss, but the Titan's Wrath is going to pick it up. It was actually the E. Is now just the ultimate to come through from Spooks, but it's not going to be enough. 007X, beautiful timing, and the Chiefs forced to back away. They had a beautiful early stage, but the Bangkok Titans able to fight back.
Yeah, so they pick up 2 kills onto the support. All of a sudden, Moss getting huge. Swiper head in hand, got his teleport cancelled there by the Lulu's Wild Growth, I think it was, actually. So heads up play coming through. Wild Growth on cooldown, probably going to be the Wild Growth.
Yep, that'll be it.
Yep, so heads up play coming through from Warlock there. That could have turned around massively if the Maokai could impact, but in the end, couldn't get it done.
Yeah, not able to happen. Warlock doing some work there on the top side. Now has the CS advantage, but nothing really to report just because these top laners able to farm out against one another relatively effectively.
Yeah, actually the fact that Maokai can stick in the lane so well is credit to Swiper. Lulu is one of the biggest lane bullies, especially when there's been no jungle pressure top from either side. Being able to stay within touching distance really is an impressive feat. And we've seen Warlock, he's pretty comfortable on these bully champions.
He most certainly is. Spooks starting off his blue buff as the Sentinel is going to spot out what's going on. 007X now heading around.
They're all trying to collapse on this one and pick it off. There might be a fight over this.
Yeah, Swiffer is going to come around and secure that blue buff, but the rest of the Bangkok Titans, they're paying a visit. The Chiefs know. Nice vision available for them over the side of that one. And the Pierce not going to be found on the
Yeah, they're still waiting for Swiffer in his jungle.
Looking for something, but Swiffer's got Riftwalk. He's not too worried, and he's got a blue buff now as well. He can stack that one up to no end.
Yeah, they certainly did zone him off some creep zone, and because Radier and Rosie still pushing out, they're in danger of this 2-0-0 Nautilus now, who's having a brilliant game. Moss wanders through there, takes out a ward for his trouble. Already has a Sightstone. Look how tanky he is.
Yeah.
As Udyr, that is no hope.
Optimistic gank attempt by 007X. Bangkok Titans looking to try and get something going on, but Spooks is here in the lane.
And now that blue has been started up for Bangkok Titans, Chiefs looking to rotate into an early dragon. Rift Scuttler was taken, but they just might be able to burst this one through.
Yeah, and they've got the Consume as well, just to make sure that they can secure this one. Spooks starts by eating off the dragon, but you can see it's going down very, very quickly. And the Chiefs, easy early dragon.
Yeah, so in the end, 007 stuck looking for a gank in the top lane on what is a very low Swiper. Might be able to make that one work, but a good ward did go out. Lulu ult still not available, so this is a very risky play.
Yeah, Swiper might be in trouble. 007X is going to get sped up. It's going to be hard for Swiper to get away. Does still have the flash. Another Bear Stance Whimsy comes through, but Swiper just wanders lazily towards his inner turret.
Yeah, exactly right. And probably Spook's going to be able to walk through this one, pick up the CS for himself. As you see, they're actually proxy farming that one away. Instead, they decide to let it go down. Bangkok Titans, 1,200 gold the advantage early on in this game. Every lane really winning. Top lane now by a long margin, 100 to 74. So Lulu really getting a bully on at this point. Goes back, picks up the Morellonomicon. And it's only really Swiffer that has any advantage in the 1v1.
Yeah, Radier is up in farm, but like you mentioned, of course, the kills and assists are working out here for Lloyd so far.
But they've actually collapsed in on 007X.
Yeah, they've found something, at least an Ice Blast to head down onto him as Spook's able to have a bit of a giggle on the Yeti. But having a Kassadin that's been unharassed in this lane.
Now Spooks may be in trouble as well. He finds a pink ward that was zoning around. Rosie is also rotated up here in the mid lane. He's been pinged out. A lot of attention now on Swiffer. We said he's the catalyst to get it going, and Chiefs seem to agree with us because all of a sudden everyone is in the mid lane.
There's a whole lot of people hanging out here. Swiffer able to clear out this minion wave fairly easily. G4 going to pick up the cannon creep with that Orbit Deception and return the wave. And Swiffer, wow, the Force Pulse really starting to do some work. But he needs to be able to get these auto attacks down onto Ahri if he really wants to make use of this unorthodox Sheen pickup.
Yeah, so did go for that one early. Really hasn't been able to make it work, I agree so far, but is starting to whittle through. Ahri probably in kill range if he's able to get one more combo with that Ignite. So decides to go back.
Yeah, and the other thing as well is that, I beg my pardon, the Netherblade with the Sheen is something that you're not used to calculating in the mid lane. So G4 may not necessarily be ready for how much burst is available from this Kassadin.
Yeah, certainly think that he would have a very good idea of exactly what Kassadin can get done under that turret. And you look at Ahri's passive just doing work. Some brilliant last hitting coming through from G4. Gets him back within 1 CS. And instead, it looks like Swiffer trying to go for a worm. He's actually dodged every ward in the top lane. Is in now behind Warlock.
Yeah, Warlock does have to be careful here. The Twisted Advance already coming through. Vengeful Maelstrom here as well as here's Swiffer with the Riftwalk. The teleport trying to come down. Will he get out? No, the Arcane Smash cancels the teleport. He loses the Summoner spell and his life.
Yeah, so they're able to get a second kill over on the mid lane. Intelligent pathing, understanding where the wards are. Unfortunately, gives up pressure on the other side of the map. And now Kalista able to shove in recklessly. And Moss looking for a dive.
Yeah, he's looking for something. A lot of damage going down here as Radiant gets exhausted. The heals there as well. 007X coming in under the tower. The Fate's call to get Moss out of it as Swiper. He's teleported in, but he's in
Luna
trouble.
On the way.
Yeah, Rosie trying to get some work done. Spooks coming around here as well. This could be the cleanup of the century for the Kassadin as Swiffer trying to get over there. Picks up his first kill. G4 though, it's going to lock him down. Picks up the shutdown as well as Swiper still in amongst it. Spooks able to escape, but Swiper can't. G4 with the double, and Rosie is trying to escape from this as well. And the Chiefs, it was a decent effort, but unable to do it. And it's not over yet, as G4's going to pick up his third for the exchange, almost his fourth, as 007X picks up that one.
So an absolute nightmare for the Chiefs. Bangkok Titans get a much better trade out of that one. Might even be able to pick up the kill. They will, as Warlock now joins. And that was maybe a late teleport coming through here. Let's see. Straight away, actually, it was called. So just very good communication and willingness to throw the dice there. Bangkok Titans, they come out ahead.
Yeah, really nicely played. And they pick up the first turret of the game as well. So really securing themselves a gold lead to the tune of about 4,000. Swiffer back into this mid lane now, not with the advantage that he once had. He's got the Rod of Ages, but that's come through at 15 minutes. It needs to stack up to really be that power spike. And Ahri almost has Abyssal Scepter as well as the Morellonomicon.
Yeah, so Ahri did a very good job to pick up 3 kills in that one. Also got the shutdown for a little bit more extra gold. So in a very good spot. They're now once again trying to challenge for this blue buff. They've got 5 members still on the bottom side of the map. Maokai is back top lane trying to farm away. They're going to lose another turret.
Yeah, the mid-outer turret is just going to fall down. The Chiefs, I believe, thought that they were going to try and contest the blue buff, so they moved everyone over there. Just turns out Bangkok Titans, they'll take the objective that's available.
Yeah, exactly right. So able now to pick up a 4,000 gold advantage.
That was so rude, 007X.
Just slapped the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, it doesn't even take him down. That was just cruel and unusual. Lloyd, though, is going to steal away a Gromp here as well. The Ren, now in range, locks that one down. It looks to me like he's going to be building the Bloodthirster into the Hurricane, but wants a bit of everything as he moves towards it.
Yeah, certainly looks to be that way as G4 now in the mid lane. Ping Swiffer, AFK. You see that he's still very much respecting the Kassadin player. But Swiffer also now, level 10 to level 11, needs to be careful.
Yeah, the Spirit Rush is at rank 2 now as well. Swiffer's actually going to Rift Walk in again. G4 in a bit of trouble. Them. Yeah, the flash to come down as well. The charm was available. Spooks looking for it. G4 going down solo. Spooks secures the kill. Rosie coming in here at the same time. Spooks running for the hills the other direction as 007X getting chased down. Tidal Wave to come through. Depth charge there, but Swiffer able to Rift Walk out of the way. Rosie gets hooked Moss gets smashed back by Swiper, though. It's a decent Aqua Prism, but doesn't find anything. Swiffer picks up another one as Moss falls down, and Bangkok Titans are not sure what they were really going for, but it wasn't their prowess generally in the collapses.
Well, they're actually chasing a Nunu halfway across the map. So top laner decided to go for the Nunu, and looks like Spooks might even be able to suicide here. Yes, he will.
Oh my goodness.
And they pick up
so
a dragon
cheeky
for it as well.
The Chiefs answer back beautifully here. They're down almost 4,000 gold, 5,000 gold, something like that. But they've netted themselves the second dragon of the game to nothing, and they haven't taken any turrets yet. So that's a lot of standing gold here on the map. This game a whole lot closer than the gold would otherwise let us know. And with a 4-1-1 Kassadin, things looking scary for the Bangkok Titans in that regard. But everywhere else, the Bangkok Titans looking huge. And Lloyd, he's got a Bloodthirster now, and the Kalista definitely ahead of this Lucian. And the Chiefs used to playing with Radiant being fairly ahead in a lot of these games so far at the IWCI.
Yeah, so Radiant not having the early start he will want, needs to be opportunistic in picking up some kills, you feel, to be able to catch back up with Lloyd. Has finished off the Infinity Edge now, so has some crit going for him. Maybe he'll get lucky, but Bangkok Titans is actually winning out in most parts of the map. It really is only Swiffer that is ahead. Spook's having another fairly decent game. 4 out of 6 kills he's been involved in, but the carry player is only the mid lane right now. And you can't say the same thing about the Bangkok Titans. Lulu doing meaningful damage right now with a needlessly large rod 40% and the 40% CDR. Kalista definitely accelerated ahead as they're starting to try and go for some picks. And with all the extra gold they've picked up from turrets, it just means that everyone is going to be stronger on the Bangkok Titans lineup.
Yeah, and they are able to rotate around to defend their outer turret in the mid lane as well. They're playing brilliantly around their objectives, denying them away from the Chiefs, as Moss is going to get a slow onto Swiffer. But the Riptide not going to be quite enough to get rid of this Kassadin just yet. 007X going to find a tree in the jungle. No surprise there, as G4 is going to clear out this wave.
So I think the Chiefs actually scale better than Bangkok Titans here. The reasoning for that is because Bangkok Titans don't really have many gap closers outside of Ari and Moss if he lands a perfect hook coming through. And if they use the Nunu ultimate correctly, 007 as well as Lloyd are going to struggle in these team fights to get onto meaningful carries. So they will scale up very well, both teams. I just think the advantage because of lack of gap closing on the tanks for Bangkok Titans means that late game, there should be an advantage for the Chiefs. But a 20-minute dragon is being started up here. Already the pings go out.
Yeah, there is a ward here. The Bangkok Titans haven't effectively swept this. The sapling goes over the wall, and what were they thinking?
Yeah, well, they just threw the dice. What did they lose for it? Absolutely nothing. So why not try and grab it? Radiant might be able to grab one turret, but that's the first turret of the game going over to the Chiefs, and it was definitely worth the risk. If you're not going to take any damage to it, why not try and secure an objective?
All right, I hadn't thought about it that way. I just thought 20-minute Baron's a pretty dangerous idea, but the teleport in behind Radiant here from Warlock might be a little bit overexcited, as that crit was disgusting. Aqua Prism not going to find Warlock, but he's going to think twice before trying to go that aggressive.
Ari now joining the fight from the side. Meaningful ultimate down in the form of the Wild Growth. Chiefs looking like they want to stick around and fight, but now back away might look to get a pick. No, everyone just successfully disengage.
Yeah, and G4 not willing to get out of that rush.
They saved the turret, so once again, Chiefs got absolutely nothing from the risky Baron play.
Yeah, but there are still a whole lot of members here on the bottom side of the map. The Chiefs going to take down a pink ward and might be able to do some work in this mid lane, as a little bit tardy.
Kalista Lulu has stayed bottom. That is a lot of power in the bottom lane to shove down waves. But Chiefs, they've proven they can go.
Yeah, G4 just going to get destroyed here. Radiant picks up that kill. The turret going to go down, and they're not stopping.
That is all of the wave clear off the map. They will continue to go in.
Yeah, actually, Dredgeline going to get Moss to safety here as 007X going to try and save this turret, but another minion wave comes through. They're going to trade it for the inner turret in the bottom side of the map. Swiper going back now as Swiffer was tanking up that turret. Radiant, though, free hitting is going to secure that, but the inhibitor turret now under fire. Swiper, he's under there trying to get some work done, and the Bangkok Titans, they trade one turret for two.
Yeah, so in the end, the Chiefs get the better of it, and they have the flank coming through. Lloyd as well as Warlock in very deep trouble.
Oh, yeah, Spook's coming through. The Blood Boil is there. Swiffer, he's going to catch out the Callista as he gets over the top. Warlock now in trouble. No Wild Growth available. Swiper with the Ventral Maelstrom. Radier again flashing forward. Lloyd, he's getting culled down. Moss with a Dredge Line, not going to find it. Wild Growth off cooldown, of course, 40% CDR, pretty handy. Moss out of mana completely. And the Chiefs, they can't find the kill.
Yeah, they're not able to get it. They successfully chase away, burn a lot. There was just too many spears in Swiper. He was like, guys, if I get rend, I'm nearly dead at this point. We're going to lose our tank. We have to abandon the chase. So a good call. They trade effectively back down to a 4,000 gold lead for Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, really nicely done. But this game most definitely on a bit of a knife edge. And having the inner turret down in the mid lane going to be good for the Chiefs, but that's an extra one that they lost. The Bangkok Titans, every time the Chiefs go for an objective play, they have an answer.
Yeah, they certainly do. And they took the really important bottom lane turret at this point in the game. One more turret in that lane opens up Baron, and we've already seen that they're willing to pull the trigger on that one. Chiefs open up the map for their Cassidy at this stage by taking down the 2 mid lane turrets. Mid lane really good at allowing you to rotate to other side lanes if you're able to get them pushing. But if we've seen anything this tournament, it's that the Chiefs really need to work on their side lane control.
Yeah, and sort of their strategic play as well. They seem to have been making some odd decisions around the map. I'm talking mostly about their previous match. But managing to take down the inner turret in the mid lane and then moving forward, grabbing some picks there as well. This is the Chiefs that we know from the Oceanic region.
Yeah, it certainly is. So they're willing to roll the dice as once again, 007X needs to be careful there. Although he is a hugely tanky Udyr. He has the Merc Treads as well as the Locket finished up. 20 CS above the Ahri. And they're going to grab their first dragon of the game, uncontested.
Yep, not going to be able to do anything about that, other Chiefs, as Bangkok Titans now able to rotate around. Chiefs are going to get at least vision control around the Baron, but that dragon falls and the Chiefs don't really get anything done for it.
Yeah, they're looking to push in top turret, actually. There's a huge minion wave up there. There's no other waves prepped for Bangkok Titans, so they'll be able to pick up a free objective in response. Maybe the call will come to shove out mid lane extremely hard or start up the Baron. Swiffer needs to be careful because his team's getting collapsed on. He is nowhere near them.
His team's pretty quick. They have the Aqua Prison for the speed up as well.
Yeah,
but we'll see whether they can get out. Yeah, probably not. Does actually get knocked out of the first portion of that Spirit Rush, but that's not going to stop him. Charm onto Swiper. He could be in trouble. Depth charge. Swiper in amongst it. Gets a massive knock-up, but that is not going to be nearly enough, and they lose the top laner for the turret.
Will come out straight away from the Bangkok Titans. They've shown that they're willing to throw everything at that objective. They go down to it. Not willing to start it up.
Yeah, not happening just yet. The Chiefs did have a ward in the back of that pit, but I'm as surprised as you are. I would have thought that as soon as they managed to make it a 5v4 situation, they would have gone there.
Yeah, well, they used a couple of really important ultimates. The Nautilus as well as Ahri ultimate burnt in that chase.
True.
So maybe felt that the counter engage coming through from the Chiefs would be huge. Not to mention that it would take a very long time to still do at this point in the game. Udyr very tanky, but without really a lot of damage items built up on their main carries, not going to fall incredibly quickly. As we see a needlessly large rod now picked up for G4 in that mid lane. He is an absolute beast on Ahri. This is twice Ahri has given Chiefs a headache coming into these games, and we'll have to see how this one does fare in the late game. 26 minutes in. Feels like we are approaching that. Still a very healthy lead coming through from Bangkok Titans. The Lulu pickup has actually been instrumental so far in moving them around the map incredibly quickly. So we'll have to see whether Warlock can continue rotating his team around or whether a mistake will be made and the Chiefs can capitalize.
Well, the Chiefs have been able to whenever one of those has been made so far, but Bangkok Titans, they haven't been doing it very often. They have been very, very well coordinated with their plays so far.
Gank Rush set up.
Sapling sort of just wondering where the Baron is. Not sure how he missed it. There's another ward going to be sent over the wall. Bangkok Titans going to start off this dragon. They have a lot of secure. Yeah, he's trying to get back here, but the Bangkok Titans do disengage.
They didn't know that. If they had any deeper vision, they would have seen that Lucian wasn't there on the approach. And that was a go button call for Bangkok Titans to engage.
They would have needed a whole lot of vision in their Nexus. No, to be able to see where Radier was.
Okay, so the way you do it is you actually ward the approach, and then you count how many members are walking towards Baron, and if there's only 4, it means that the 5th is in the base.
Or it means getting red buff. You don't necessarily
red buff, Atlas. That's exactly what I just said.
All right, got it. Well, maybe around the corner. Not entirely sure. Bangkok Titans, though, they do disengage. Oh, get your head out of your hands. Come on, you got to pay attention to what's going on here, Spawn. Radiant going to take away the Wolves.
Actually, now it's the Bangkok Titans committing 2 members into the bottom lane, so maybe the Chiefs can look for the engage here. If they show Lloyd, I'm sure they'll be willing to pull the trigger, wisely back away. And both teams now very much respecting each other. This is a really big game for both of them. Bangkok Titans, they want that first place. The Chiefs, they want the playoffs, and they've started it up.
Yeah, and they have a lot of Baron secure, assuming the Kalista isn't able to get the spears into it. I like this pick, but the Bangkok Titans, they are collapsing in on this one. Moss taking a lot of damage as G4 using that Spirit Rush to get around. Nice knock-up to come through, but Moss, he's got the ultimate from Lulu, but he's tanking so well for his team. 007X
Lloyd
trying to get in amongst it. Warlock flashing forward. Lloyd really wants to get something going on, but Swiffer, Riftwalk gets him out. That sapling, brilliant slow as the flash goes over the wall. Swiffer is going to be able to use that Riftwalk to get to safety. Spooks
is down. He's not going to be able to get out of this one.
He is a very quick Yeti.
But if they need to get back right now, because if he dies, the Baron call is going to be made, and they need to be able to respond accordingly. Warlock as well as 007X are there. Lloyd started it up. That's a weird call.
Yeah, Swiffer is still around this Baron. Rosie's down as well. Spooks still taking them on a merry ride, but oh my goodness, Swiffer goes down.
Yeah,
this could be the Baron.
Ooh.
Chilling Smite going to come through. 007X not going to be deterred too easily as Rosie does have the flash available. Dredgeline to try and get Moss in amongst it. Radiant trying to pick up the jungler. Lots of damage to come through. Picks up the kill with a beautiful aggressive play as the teleport comes down from Swiper. He's trying to get the work done, but nice shield to come down. Radiant falls. Lloyd picks up that kill. Wild growth on the Kalista, perpetually slowing this tree. Rosie may just fall down on the offside, but Lloyd unable to really close the gap, and the Chiefs, a bit of a monumental failure there.
But 2 of the members survived on absolutely nothing, Atlas. Moss and G4 are on slithers of health. That was just a knife edge call coming through. Radiant going so deep, and it nearly paid off. One more crit, and that was a completely different team fight, but you got to give it to the Bangkok Titans. They have been absolutely dominant. Whenever there is an advantage to be able to eke out of this game, they have got it every time.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. But one thing that can be said for the Chiefs is that they stopped the Baron.
Yeah, exactly right. Stopped the Baron. Nunu fell down. They're also looking to pick up a 3rd Dragon, although with 2 members on the top side of the map, probably not the best idea. 007X, he is an absolute monster. He is so tanky right now, and they're going to be able to pick up the 2nd Dragon for themselves, equalize out that objective. They've got a 6,000 gold lead as well.
There's no armor on this Bangkok Titans team at all.
Yeah, but they've just got so much effective health coming through. They don't need armor right now.
Yeah, I guess Radiant is sort of the only one that is going to be doing any of that physical damage.
So itemized for the MR as well as a lot of health. You've got the wild growth coming through, making one of your members a tank no matter what. As Warlock and G4, they've started to zone, and once again, the Baron is started up.
Yeah, the charm not going to find its mark as Rosie gets...
Oh, the ultimate burnt from G4 already. This is horrible news for Bangkok.
Yeah, the culling to come over as well does soften up a lot of the members of the Titans as a nice force pulse from Swiffer is going to be used. The Chiefs, once again, successfully stop a Baron.
Yeah, so in the end, they're able to force them away. Do they start it up themselves and hope the re-engage come through? Because Ari without ultimate, much less scary.
Yeah, Rosie coming through here as well. Does miss the Aqua Prison as the Chiefs have started it up. Fate's Call has been used. Swiper and Spooks are going to get locked down. That's the tanky members. Beautiful Orb of Deception gets them so low. Rosie trying to peel for Radiant. Spooks uses the ult, but Swiper's going to fall down. Radiant going super aggressive. May have gone too deep as Swiffer gets underneath. 007X going to fall down. Radiant with the hero play, but is going to fall down in the end. Swiffer is basically dead, trying to rift hobble away from this one. The charm doesn't find the mark. He's looking for it. Rosie, ebb and flow, not enough. Swiffer escapes, but he's the last man standing.
And that's going to be the base broken. Bangkok Titans finally do it with another fantastic team fight. And that was this time without the Ari ultimate. Chiefs probably thinking their best window to get into this one. Weren't able to get it done, and the first inhibitor falls.
Yeah, first inhibitor down 8,000 gold now, the lead for the Bangkok Titans. And with super creeps heading towards the base, things are looking a lot worse here for the Chiefs, just because that Baron that they were dancing around, not as safe an option here if they want to hold on to their Nexus turrets.
Yeah, exactly right. So with the super minions pushing in mid-wave, they really have to be able to crush that one down. Bottom lane outer not being taken is so important at the moment because it means the lane reverses so much more quickly, pushing in their favor. So there is just a lot of pressure now on the Chiefs base. They're 8,000 gold behind or somewhere about there.
I'd give you that estimate.
Yeah, not a whole lot of tanky stacks being built up on Swiper so far. He's fallen very far behind this Lulu, who's honestly having an absolute blinder of a game. Props to Warlock.
Well, Warlock
supplementing
also
everything that's been going on, just making everyone on his team that little bit better.
Yeah, and Warlock's Lissandra game made us think maybe the opponents of the Bangkok Titans would be able to find somewhere up there in the top in order to capitalize on, but
it started
not
off
happening
again.
this time. Oh, this Rend is going to do
Chiefs
so much
has to
damage.
fight.
They're trying to get in there. Spooks doesn't manage to get it because Rend is just too huge and Spooks is going to die for it. It was a valiant effort, but the Chiefs lose their jungler and the Baron.
Yeah, so Chiefs' hopes now of getting through to the playoffs look like they rest solely with Besiktas up against Detonation Focus Me next game, because all of a sudden Bangkok Titans have 20 seconds. They have a huge creep wave in the top lane and Baroned up minions. Everything going against the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, it's looking like a very difficult victory if the Chiefs want to pick it up. And with Lloyd so powerful on this Kalista, has been such a power pick for this guy. And look, he's just so scary. Now with double lifesteal as well as the QSS, he's just going to be so hard to take down. The culling going to be used by Radiant, but these melee buffed up minions are just so huge. Look at the shields, and that turret melted. Moss and 007 are huge frontline spooks, trying to be the same, but he's not going to be able to. The inhibitor going to be taken down as, man, the Fate's Call has been held onto. Moss getting right in amongst it. Radiant going down solo, gets smited, trying to get some work done. He's able to get some consistent damage at G4. He's so incredibly low. They've gone with the two tanks falling, and the Chiefs, they tried to get it done. Look at the low health bars, but just unable to. Haven't picked up a kill just yet as Swiffer, he's dancing around. Pierce doesn't land. Dredgeline lands on the wall, but at the moment, the Baron buff just too strong.
Yeah, base is broken, but they have to fight. They're going to fall down without it.
Yep, 007X taking a lot of damage. Lloyd getting chunked through. Beautiful Aqua Prison, but Radiant's going to fall down. Swiffer as well. Super low once again, and the Nexus falls. The Bangkok Titans make it 5-1.
Yeah, they secure top seed and do it in very emphatic fashion. You see the huge grin coming across there from Warlock, and wow, that was an intense game. Overall, you probably couldn't ask for more from the two teams coming in. Very team fight heavy focus coming through, but Bangkok Titans, much better execution in every team fight.
Yeah, really looked beautiful. And you have to hand it to Warlock. He looked uncomfortable on the Lissandra early on today, but that Lulu play was super clutch. And you mentioned the fact that a whole lot of the members of the Bangkok Titans in a lot of those fights survived on slivers of health. But that was because these whimsy shields were coming through at exactly the right time.
Yeah, they certainly were. The shields were on point. Not to mention the wild growth in the last team fight that kept G4 alive when Swiffer dove in. There was just everything he could do possibly to win the team fights. He was always the one throwing out. Was used as a good initiation tool, the re-engage coming through. It really was about Moss and Lloyd in this game just being supplemented by the rest of the team.
Yeah, it was just a little bit unfortunate there for the Chiefs. All hope is not lost just yet, ladies and gentlemen. They are 3-3, and it's all about our final game. If Detonation Focus Me manage to take down Besiktas, then we may be in for an opportunity here, but that could be difficult. And man, I mean, the Chiefs, they looked great on day one, but just the floundering in day two may have just put the last nail in the coffin.
Yeah, exactly right. Not able to get that win there on day two really did hurt them against the CIS team, and they looked very impressive. When you look at the leaderboard, 5-1 now for the Bangkok Titans, 4-2 for both INTZ and Hard Random coming through. whoever this last game decides what the fourth team to join them is, it'll either be the Chiefs at 3-3 with a head-to-head record over Besiktas if they lose the game.
No, they do not have that head-to-head.
No, they don't. 2-4
if
Besiktas lose. Or if Besiktas win, they go up to 3-3 and they have the head-to-head, so then they sneak into the playoffs. So everything comes down to this last game. But if we get back to this game, we have a replay to show exactly how Bangkok Titans were able to win this one. So Ari's ultimate is burnt. Chiefs feel like they can start up the Baron one more time, so they give it another crack. When you see the engage come through as we roll the tape out, it's onto Swiper as well as Spooks, and you think that is great because the tidal wave, it knocks everyone up. Consistent damage on the side, but the tanks just fell way too quickly. Warlock all of a sudden is on the back line. He's giving out those huge shields. You see G4, he's just not losing any health to Swiffer, who's tried to re-engage on him like 3 times.
Yeah.
Rady is forced to hit 007X because of some beautiful positioning. And if we continue to roll this one out, you see that they just completely zone out Rady. He's only able to hit tanks. They are just able to streamline to him on the top side of the map. Finally, he gets a good target in G4, but the shields are still there. They're able to get through. The teleport, I believe, comes through. Very sneaky here from Warlock. Once again, just a heads-up play. And he ends up taking out Rosie. And that was really the team fight that secured it for me because it showed that the Bangkok Titans just understood how to fight around these objectives on the next level to the Chiefs. The Chiefs threw everything they had at them, but the Bangkok Titans just were able to get it done in those very gritty mid-game team fights.
Yeah, and the Bangkok Titans also knew exactly how to play out their team comp as well. They were using everything correctly. They were working like a cohesive unit that had used those champions together before. They honestly looked like a team that didn't have a sub-support player.
Yeah, exactly right. And you got to hand it one more time to Moss. He came up huge in lane again. Yeah. They even went for that turret dive where they were able to pick up like 3 kills for 1 off the back of it. That really started the snowball because if you remember, that was where Ari picked up a 3-kill and a killing spree off Swiffer to shut him down as well. The map looked like it was going to be taken over by Cassidy at some point, but they fought and crawled it back every inch of the way, built up this lead, and then from there just ran over the top of them.
Yeah, it just looked like the Chiefs, every single skirmish going slightly in favor of the Bangkok Titans, no matter what they could do.
Yeah, exactly right. And Bangkok Titans, they picked a really cool team comp to go with. Yeah. They had these facilitators to get the Udyr in, and I really think that Udyr is a fun champion on this patch because if you have something like an Orianna, something like a Lulu that can get him onto the back line, it's really important to be able to do that, and they do it well.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, we have Warlock alongside with an interview.
It feels great to be #1, but, as long as we advance into the next round, doesn't really matter what place we get.
So earlier today, you made a Kalista choice, and then you won the first game. Then you made another Kalista choice and carried the game. Do you expect any bans on Kalista?
I'm not sure we should expect any bans, but, I don't really have any comments on it. If they can ban it, we have other champions as well, so it's really up to the opponents.
Okay, so you made pretty unusual picks, so should we expect any other interesting comps from you? Like Cannon and Kalista?
Well, we just pick whatever we think works for us. So even if they're unconventional or even if they're meta picks, we just pick whatever champion we think suits our team, and yeah.
So you will either play with Chiefs or Turkey. Which one do you prefer and why?
Actually, I don't really mind, but wait, is the Turkish team and the Australian team going to play the tiebreakers if they win?
No, if Turkish team wins over the Japan, they will play.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't really mind, but just, for home ground, let's hope I'll play the Turkish team.
I think you're going to play your own game, whether it's Turkey or Australia. So thank you for the interview. Now we're back to...
And Warlock there with an interesting interview, not wanting to give anything away at all. Wouldn't even let us know whether he assumes anyone's going to be banning away that Kalista from Lloyd. And I have to let you know, Warlock, that I think that might actually happen because Lloyd's Kalista is ridiculous.
I don't think it will. I think his Graves is actually better. The more Kalista games you can get on it, the less you're going to be killed by this Graves flying through there. So I don't actually think it is a ban that they will get thrown to it.
That sounds terrifying, Spawn, because that's anything. That last game's anything to go by, man.
I'm telling you, hit Nunu, hit Udyr, because 007X, he looks much more exposable than Lloyd. Lloyd looks fantastic.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. But, of course, yeah, that Udyr and the Nunu, probably something that they want to remove. The Nunu didn't look so good coming from the Chiefs, but the Udyr was fantastic. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more game in this group stage coming up. It is going to decide everything, whether it's going to be the Chiefs or whether it's going to be Besiktas. Besiktas are going to be taking on Detonation Focus Me from Japan right up.